suggests they were between 15 and 18 years old. So when you read Daniel, I don't want you to think of this bearded guy having all these prophetic visions. I want you to think of a kid whose voice still cracks. I want you to think of a guy who is 16 years old, maybe. In our days, just getting his driver's license. I want you to think not of these highfalutin heroes of the Bible. I'm talking about a teenager. There were 4 teenagers that were taken into Pharaoh's or into Nebuchadnezzar's court. Their names were Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And when they arrived, the Bible says they began a 3-year indoctrination process in the ways of the Babylonians. Look at what they did. They tried to change their thinking by giving them a Babylonian education. They tried to change their loyalty by changing their names. Each of their names was an honor to the God of Israel. Each of their new names was an honor to the Babylonian gods. And thirdly, they tried to change their lifestyle by changing their menu, by changing their diet. And that is our first takeaway for us tonight, is this. The Babylonians wanted to immerse the Jews in their own culture. And the first point I want you to remember is this. We are strangers in a strange land. Where we live in our culture is not our home. We are strangers living in a strange land, almost a Babylonian-type culture. That's reality. The Bible says as much. Philippians 3 says our citizenship is not here, but in heaven. If I were to pull out my passport, it would say Canadian citizen. But in God's eyes, I am a citizen of heaven, and that is where my allegiance is. 1 Peter 2 says we are aliens and strangers in this world. Hebrews 11 says those who live by faith lived lives as aliens and strangers. Now, stop for a second and hear me out. Being an alien and stranger to this world does not mean that you have to be weird.